Howdy, people. I'm in Boise, Idaho. Boise. Never been to Boise before. I just figured what better place to do a video than on the couch at my cousin's apartment. And it's been a while since I've done more personal level videos. And you know, I figured this is a topic I should really cover, and I haven't covered it yet. Kind of been figuring this was a topic that needed to be discussed it has needed to be discussed for a while, actually. Anyway, there's people walking by on this floor, so I was like, I trip out when I see things like that. But the topic at hand is gun control, and as you know, I'm not a supporter of it. I don't believe in gun control. I believe the only safe society is an armed society. Oh, I know, that might offend some of you, but it's the truth. First thing they did in 1939, when they invaded Poland, was not only did they take the rights of the people away, they took their guns, they took their food, they took their houses, and if they didn't give their houses, they burnt them the fuck down. And in this day and age, you got some little kid actress up on stage bitching about, I don't want to be shot in my safe place, aka my school. When in reality, the moment you actually take guns out of a central zone, a zoned area, you know, it no longer becomes a safe place. I just thought I'd tell you that. Because, like I just said in the beginning of this video, an armed society is a safe society. And here's an example. 1800s. Everybody walked around with a gun. I think the age for owning a firearm in the 1800s might have been 10 years old. If you were tall enough to freaking load one up, you were old enough to buy one up. And the point being is this country's gone so ass backwards that you can't tell a little kid about gun control or vice versa. You can't even tell somebody your own damn opinion without them going in an uproar and wanting to argue on some side tangent for fucking hours. And you know what? It's bullshit, really. At the end of the day, what we're losing is not just our Second Amendment right. I've watched this go out the window and just slowly go out the window. The first one. It's not even about the second right now. That's what people don't understand. You take away that second one, that first one goes out the window. And the good old thing, the freedom of this, you know, the freedom of this thing we have here, this thing that comes out of our mouths, that vitrically comes out of everybody's mouths, words, freedom of speech. Can't have freedom of speech without the Second Amendment, right? I'm just saying. Where did their freedom of speech come from? They fought for it. I've been wanting to touch this for so long that I haven't touched it. Alright, I've been kind of just putting it on the back burner, putting it on the back burner, putting it on the back burner. But when I see little kids walking around with signs that say fuck the NRA, I say fuck those little kids, because you know why? They're fucking idiots. When I was growing up, things were a little harder than they are now. You didn't have people walking around saying stupid shit like this. You didn't have people going into schools like this. The only one you'd ever heard of when I was growing up was Columbine. all right? You didn't have terrorists like the level you have them now. You don't have any of that when I was growing up. The 90s were a lot more chill. People weren't all on this bandwagon of, oh, jump everybody, jump everybody, jump everybody. And if you don't know what I mean by jump everybody, I'm meaning with your words, not just with your hands and your actions. Your words speak for yourself. And you know what? I grew up in a day and age when everything you said was held liable. If you don't know what that means, liability for what you say. Oh, well, we're getting in another form of freedom of speech. You are still liable for what you say when you say it. Oh, wow. These kids don't know that one, do they? But you know what? People like me could teach them that. But the problem with people like them is they're not willing to sit there for 10, 20 minutes, an hour of their time and soak up some knowledge from somebody who's a little older than them. They don't even have to be 10 years older than them. They could be 6 years older than them. Hell, you could actually learn something from someone who is younger than you. Like, here's an example. I can't remember the verse, but there's a verse in the Bible that basically says that you can learn something from someone who's younger than you and still take it forward, and the younger person showed the older generation that they were being foolish. Like, fuck. I don't know how hard it gets for kids to actually wrap their minds around an actual subject that actually matters. So, okay, for example, Arizona just passed it to where you're allowed to, say you're a teacher or you work in a school, you're allowed to have a concealed carry permit now, just because you're in a school. I believe that's right, but in some aspects, people are going to take that the wrong way and misuse it, just like anything else. It's like, yes, putting more safe stops in place is a good idea, but at the same time, when you actually think about it, yeah, I think that there should be a couple armed guards at each and every high school or middle school. And I know this sounds bad, but we're in that day and age. You can't protect your children. You can't say this or that. Really, once you ship them off to that school, they're kind of locked in there for the next whatever amount of hours they're locked in there. You get what I'm saying? And let's get this view out here. You guys want to see this? I know you do. So this is the view. Way over there is Boise State University. Well, one of their buildings anyway. The point I was trying to get at really is if we impede on this factor of gun control, if we impede on this factor of raising the firearm age to 21, if we impede on this factor of saying people who smoke marijuana or vice versa, people who have a medical card in other states where it's legal, obviously it's not legal here in Idaho, but you get the point I'm getting at. People should not be impeded on their Second Amendment right because they do something that somebody else doesn't find right. It's just like something I posted 2 nights ago about this lady in Texas wants all men to basically be subjugated to some stupid law if that they are being subjugated to this stupid abortion law, which I think is positive because I don't believe abortion should even happen, but that's my opinion. Again, I'm pro-life, so there you go. But the point being is this lady had the nerve to say that it's okay to fine men $100 every time they ejaculate. Y'all see how asinine this country has gone to, right? Like the levels of assiduity, it's just like mind-boggling. It made me laugh. I mean, really though, I wish I could have got the tank downstairs on camera better, but I'll go down there later and film it not live. That'll do it. And then come up here and upload it. But hey, you know, only thing about that is, like, really when we're thinking about the whole factor of gun control or pro-life, pro-this, pro-that, are we actually looking at the bigger picture? I've posted this like 4 times the last couple of days. And it was what I started out this video with. In 1939, when Germany invaded France, or Poland, whatever, you know, but France was part, or Poland was part of France at the time, I believe. I could be wrong on that. Don't fact check me on that one. But the point is, they took the guns first. They took the food second. They took their properties third. You get the point I'm getting at. You can't let them take your rights. You can't let them take your gun rights. You can't let them infringe on the things that are held sacred. It's almost like, at the end of the day, it kind of reminds me of the 10 Commandments in a sense. You shall not, you shall not, you shall not, you shall not, you shall not infringe on my rights. And that's something that California needs to wake the fuck up on. But really, with that being said, you kind of get where I'm at. I probably won't be able to own a gun because of California. Ever. Which is bullshit. But, you know, because I like shooting guns. Like going out, playing with guns and being on the range. And honestly, if you restrict guns to only be military personnel or vice versa, law enforcement personnel, or only these concealed carry motherfuckers, what's going to happen when somebody actually does take your gun rights away? There ain't going to be anybody to form a militia to protect this country. There ain't going to be any of that. Just a point. But yeah, I felt this topic needed to be touched. Really did. I may have gone off on a side wave of a loophole, of a rabbit hole of you know, confuction, but hey, I got to the point that I was trying to make. This little girl that's up on that stage speaking, saying that we can't allow this and this and this. You've obviously never read the Federalist Papers. You obviously have never read our Constitution. You've obviously never read our Bill of Rights. And you obviously don't belong in this country. Oh, not to mention that girl has a freaking Cuban flag on her freaking shoulder. You know, just throw the left out there a little more. I mean, how is the right and the left ever going to get on the same side, the same page, when communism's always right there? That's a true point right there. But with that being said, take all of this with a grain of salt. I'm not trying to tell you how to, you know, view this or view what I'm saying. I'm trying to get you to understand that if we keep going down this road, we're fucked. Really are. And with that being said, I can't even say the faith of a mustard seed right now. Exactly, same mental thinking of 1930s Germany. And with that being said, I think everybody got this.